Hello all, this is Seema Govil with my show Fablife360, and I have the gorgeous, the glamorous, the pretty, the versatile Sayani Gupta all the way from Mumbai joining us, and we've been chatting about her earlier films and SRK. All big fans of SRK, and lots of fun things we have discussed. And now we are getting to the meat that you have been waiting for is 4 more shots, please. So get your shots out there. So yeah, Shayani, tell me a little bit about, it's not only just glamorous according to me. Everyone thinks it's glamorous. Of course it is. But it has created quite a lot of buzz and media with the viewers because of that. And now more with the announcement of season 3. And for guys, those who don't know, this show is about friendship, about womanhood. It's a slick, very well made. It's beautiful scripted stories about matters. So you are a powerhouse journalist, and tell me how much you relate to Damini, your character, as perfectionist in every way, very professional, and loves life, loves friends, loves people, and everything that you are in that show.
Uh, I think the show is very interesting, and honestly, there was a big dearth of a narrative in the mainstream which is about women, and authentically portraying women and representing women, and urban women, without any kind of judgment and stereotyping them. So yeah, it was very interesting for all of us. And Damini, in fact, I remember the first time I'd ever read this script, I loved Damini, and she was just so spunky and just so fierce, and I loved the fact that she was so strong on the outside, but with her OCD and other stuff, she was also very vulnerable. She was also like she was there were too many things that were not in her control, and the more she wanted to control her life, it was just going out of her ability to control. And it was just a very, very complex character. And as we were talking, that of course I would, the first thing that you would get attracted to as a performer would be a complex part, because it's much more like challenging to play and also fun to play. So yeah, I guess that's what sort of attracted me to Damini. And in season 2, she does get a little too crazy for me to handle sometimes, and I'm like, oh my god, why is she doing? Why is she overcomplicating her life? She's just too complicated. And as Shayoni, I'm like, man, please just settle down, just like take a breather. But I guess it's great for fiction to have more and more complexities, and just a lot of drama and just so much happening. So yeah, it's fun. It's exhausting to be her. I'm like, oh my god, again she's up to something, But she's definitely a lot of fun. She's in the second season. I think the character does go through a little bit of change, because in the first season I feel she had a bamboo stuck up in her ass throughout, and I think she's much more easy in the second season, which I actually didn't. When I read the script of the second season, I had a lot of apprehensions, because I was like, "Arey, why is she whining so much? You've made her into a whiny character." And there were a lot of problems I had with what was happening with Damini. But honestly, after I saw it, not only when I was working on it, but when I saw the final product, I was like, oh, interesting, because now she comes across as funny also. Not only does she come across as extremely vulnerable, but she also is, clueless sometimes, and quirky and funny, which is, I think, which makes her much more humane, and not just like, oh, I know everything, and I have complete control, and I'm going to change the world like that. So I guess that really is an interesting sort of twist to her character.
I think that's the best part. I think everyone is enjoying and relating, because all the women are unapologetically flawed. And they are being themselves. They live, they love, they make mistakes, they take one day at a time, and how much they have each other's back. I'm loving the friendship angle of the show so much more, and unceasing friendship this is. And another interesting thing I want to ask you is that you haven't, like 50% of the moms in the show, or 2 out of 4, are not perfect moms. They are not the typical moms. Even your mom is not typical mom. And so
Hmm.
that was actually, so what do you have to say about the other characters in the Four
Hmm.
More Shots,
Hmm.
please? Your friends and the guys, Milan Soman and Pratik Babbar, and the moms who are playing. How were they written?
I think when it comes to the girls, they wanted to sort of break every kind of stereotype that there was, and they wanted to portray all kinds of women. And the fact that the four of us are, starting from how we look, we are so distinctly different looking, all four of us. We have very different features, height, skin color, everything. Our beings are very different. We are all very, very different people, all four of us. And obviously, when you embody a character, also a part of your personality comes in, because this is your medium. You're playing any character through this. So all of that, and when it comes to the four characters as well, I think there are women like this all around us, like every woman would relate to each four of these characters, if not throughout. Like even if you don't relate to one character throughout, but you're going to relate to all the characters at different points, and it definitely makes it for an authentic watch. When it comes to the other characters, and again, sorry, coming back, what you spoke about friendship, because there you don't see women friendships, especially in the Indian mainstream, films, or like especially Bollywood or even shows. And this was, I mean, it was just the time of the, I mean, it was just the right time. It was just about time that you showed sisterhood and bonding with women. And because, I mean, women are great friends and women can make great friends. And, it's time that this whole myth of women can't become friends or women don't get along had to be busted, because these are all, again, as we keep saying, these are all myths of patriarchy that sort of, that has been completely propagated for years and years, and nobody questions it. And you have so many, and that's why our show keeps getting compared to Sex and the City, because there are no comparisons or reference points other than a Sex and the City or Girls, which is again another show that I love, or now say Big Little Lies. There are so many American shows that you can sort of think of with, which talk about women friendships. And but you in India, you have all these films about the bro code and the brother, like brohood, but you have none, like so many films that get made about, just boys getting along and, like being friends, but you don't have that for women. So it's amazing. And one of the most like important reasons why the show sort of speaks to people, and people in so many different parts of the, not only the country but the world, is because it is about friendship, and it's about, women, just no matter what's going on in their lives, the friends are sticking to each other. And I think even while watching the second season, I was getting goosebumps at times. I was like, it's so beautiful, and it's so beautiful in a much deeper way. I was like, we have to understand how precious this is for us. The fact that, we can celebrate this in this way. And I think that's very, very powerful. The friendship right there at the core. Coming back to the other characters, it's actually interesting. It's your observation that the mothers are quite different. Yeah, but these mothers also exist. Like how Damini's mother is in the show are many mothers who I know. And some of my relatives also are like this. Also, the way Damini's parents are exactly the household probably I have seen around. Where since you are, and Damini says also, like, since I've been born, nobody has treated me as a child. Everyone's sort of asked me, spoken to me about politics and literature and lots of other things, and music and whatever, but never. So I think I get that. When it comes to Siddhi's mom, I think, again, a lot of girls have initially problems with their mothers, especially if it's a young mother. You always have this strange relationship with your child, and then sort of you also come of age, as a mother. And that's very interesting, and how that relationship has changed into such a beautiful friendship, and now they have such a cool, like, fun banter, which is, some scenes are so funny. When it comes to the boys, I think literally it's the makers and the creators, because these are all women. It's their fantasy. Okay, These are all women who are who have been fantasizing to have these men in their lives. They obviously can't because it's not possible to get these men. In real life and in the real world. So they wrote about this, and I get to have them in the show. So I am very happy and grateful. But it's true because when you talk about Jays, so somebody on Twitter had asked me, where do I find a man like Jay? And I said it's only like, and I was like, only in fiction because it is only possible in fiction. Yeah, it's not possible otherwise. They don't make men like that. Who's so loving and good looking and caring and sensitive and everything. And with Varsi, of course, I mean, he's a gynac, but I mean, it's Milind Soman, so clearly it was the girls making the show their fantasy, and that's why you have Dr. Varsi and Jay, and Damini is just. Sometimes I'm like, what does she give them? They are both coming, running back, having a fist fight for her. I was like, what is Damini? What is happening, guys? So yeah, we make fun of it.
And perfect, Milind Soman is just perfect choice for that role. At any
Yeah.
age, he's still very hot
Yeah.
and girls, any girl's fantasy.
Yeah.
And even, of course, Pratik is very calm and
Yeah, Pratik's
he's
lovely.
like
And Pratik's
perfect.
lovely as Jay, I mean, sometimes I think after romancing, like, sometimes obviously you play Damini, but you're seeing a person, and Pratik is very different from Jay, by the way, okay? And Pratik is lovely, but like Jay is just so lovely, and sometimes, in fact, I was telling this, I was like, yeah, Jay ke baad na, mera standard hi upar ho gaya hai. Jay, not Pratik, mind you, Jay. He's just such a lovely guy.
Guys, all those guys who are listening, this is a challenge for you. Good, let this
You're never
work
going
in
to win
fiction.
this challenge.
Huh?
If you're asking them challenge for you to find your Jay in your real life or Dr. Vasi, that's not possible. You don't make them. And maybe there were one or two who are married or dead. No point now.